I'm Janine Teagues. I've been teaching second grade here at Abbott Elementary for a year now. The staff here is incredible. There is a 7-year-old custodian who voted for Kanye teaching social studies.
That's who runs the world, kids.
If you haven't already had a chance to watch Abbott Elementary, I highly encourage you to go check out this show, which is currently streaming on Hulu. Today we're going to do a breakdown of Season 1, Episode 6, titled Gifted Program, and we'll get into what an excellent series this is turning out to be. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. On this channel we review classic black cinema as well as current film and TV shows in order to explore ideas about race and representation in Hollywood. So if you haven't had a chance to catch the show, here's a general premise of Abbott Elementary. It is a workplace drama set in a Philadelphia elementary school done in a mockumentary style, much like The Office, for example, where we follow the school administrators and teachers as they navigate through the ups and downs of working at an underfunded public school. And I have to say, this hits home for me personally because I worked in an underfunded public school in Dallas where I taught second grade and kindergarten. So this review will be biased and seen through the lens of a former teacher, so just an FYI. We begin with Janine Teagues, played by Quinta Brunson, in her second grade class. She has pulled aside a student who is having some troubles with math. She is doing her best to give the struggling students some extra time and attention. However, that takes away from teaching the rest of her class. And she has a lot of students, which I can relate to, of course. Mrs. Teagues must dole out busy work for her remaining students. Now, this is absolutely real-world classroom life, when your classroom is packed with students who are not all on the same level. Most public school classrooms mandate all kids learn the same lessons at the same time, but rarely does that ever work for the students. So the issue for Ms. Teagues is this: I am one teacher. How do I teach to the struggling students, to the on grade level students, and to the advanced students all in one lesson? We see one of her advanced students asking for something to do, and Ms. Teagues gets her to sharpen pencils and grade papers. And she knows this is wrong. I mean, this is just not right. So she comes up with the idea for a gifted program in order to give her more advanced students more to do. And the issue for this episode becomes, should there even be a gifted program at their school? Now, I thought this was a great topic for this episode, to focus on students who are not being challenged in the classroom, just as we did in the previous episode with Courtney. Now, if you haven't seen episode 5 yet, Ms. Teagues got a quote-unquote problem student transferred to her class that turned her whole classroom upside down. That little girl was unbelievable. But in the end, they realized this student should have already been moved up an entire grade level. In my opinion, most of her behavior issues seem to stem from the fact that she was not getting her academic needs met by the school at all. So the principal decides to allow the gifted program to be taught by Jacob Hill, played by Chris Perfetti, but this does rub some other teachers the wrong way, as the principal is so insensitive about separating out the quote smart kids from, well, the rest of the class.
It's Smart Kids time. I'm going to need Tyrell, Nadia, and Daniel.
What are you talking about?
For the gifted program.
Those are the only kids who talk in my class.
Sucks to be you. All aboard the brain train. Choo-choo.
When Miss Teagues' class is walking down the hall, they find out that the gifted students are being taught a lesson on reproduction by watching these chicken eggs hatch, and they are all completely fascinated. Miss Teagues feels conflicted about how the program is getting its start, and she has a great conversation with her fellow teachers in this clip.
There's nothing wrong with the gifted program itself. We just need to organize it better so that the regular kids, the ungifted kids, the regifted kids.
Let's lift up the other kids.
Yes, that.
Look, if the program is making the kids feel bad, I don't think it's worth it.
Guys, there has to be a way to improve the experience for the other kids, you know? Make them feel special too.
I'm sure you'll figure it out, Janine. You're in the gifted program, right?
I was.
So her attempt at a solution is to get a hold of some, quote, eggs. She thinks chicken eggs, really, that are going to hatch in her own classroom. But the only problem is the bootleg eggs that she got from Miss Melissa Schimenti, played by Lisa Ann Walker, are not actually chicken eggs at all, but snake eggs. And when I tell you, I laughed so hard when those kids found out that those were not chickens, that those were snakes. I was dying, especially when Miss Teagues hopped up on that chair and all those kids started running out of the classroom. That was hilarious. At the end, Mr. Gregory Eddy, played by Tyler James Williams, finally puts things into perspective with his view on the gifted program.
In the gifted program, a little bit more attention, and it didn't work out this time, but I still feel that if we nurture our most gifted mind.
Gee, when I was a kid, I didn't get into the gifted program, like not even close. Made me feel like school was only for kids who were good at taking tests, which I was not. So I checked out.
I don't know what to say.
The point is, when you give some kids chickens, other kids are gonna get snakes. If you get snakes for long enough, that's what you think you deserve.
And no one deserves snakes.
So here is a real issue I think that needs to be addressed in most every classroom. Oftentimes when a kid gets an A and has good grades, everyone automatically assumes that kid's needs have been met and that they're thriving, getting the education they deserve and that nothing is wrong. However, as we see back at the beginning of the episode with the girl sharpening pencils, she was being denied the education she deserved and was not getting the time and attention she should. Her curriculum needed to be more challenging, but the teacher was focusing so much on the struggling student that both students' needs really were not being met. But if one teacher with no teacher's aide, by the way, and that's fairly common, I didn't get a teacher's aide, that's for sure. With one teacher and no teacher's aide, if that one teacher has to give special attention, why not have another teacher come in to assist with the more advanced students? I think there is a very valid reason the gifted programs are needed, though I can understand how some would see them as problematic. All students don't have to be taught the same curriculum just because they're all born around the same time. But when pulling students out of the classroom and giving them a separate lesson is presented as dividing the students into the smart kids and the, well, not so smart kids, I can also see how that would be hurtful to the children and demotivating as well. Oh my goodness, what a great episode. Favorite scene in the episode was definitely when those snake eggs hatched. That had me rolling. That was hilarious. But all the episodes have been good so far this season. Drop down in the comments and tell me what you think. Should there be a gifted program in schools? Did you agree with Mr. Eddy that this can cause some real damage to the kids not selected? Let me know your thoughts. Now, when it comes to representation, I consider Abbott Elementary to do an excellent job. Here we have good, honest, hardworking educators working to make a difference in their students' lives, although the principal's role in helping the school is hilariously debatable. But this is a primarily Black cast, though not all the teachers are Black, of course. But this clearly is a school where all the students appear to be minorities. And I think you have to be mindful when portraying very young students of color. You definitely don't want to play into any stereotypes. And I think the show does well in showing a balance between students who are pretty disruptive or who act up, as we say, and cause problems in the classroom, and students who genuinely are in need of some real help and pulling our heartstrings. These kids are not a monolith and have a variety of different personalities and needs, and it saddens me how they have to deal with having so few resources available to them. But unfortunately, that is real life, and the show doesn't shy away from that. I mean, the bathroom's not working and the light's not working. Are you kidding me? That is so sad. But again, I dealt with those exact same issues back in my old school. Overall, the actors do a great job portraying Black teachers, in my opinion. And again, I am biased here, but I feel they represent educators who are smart and capable, but also human and just trying to survive the everyday just like the rest of us. I feel these portrayals are absolutely relatable, and I think it's a great show. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. If you enjoyed the content, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, share with others, and leave a comment below. Thank you.